Do you see here? Hi guys. Well, it's lunch break again, and I'm walking in another woods that is close to where I work. This one's actually quite a big one, and would go into other towns. You hear the birds or something scrambling through the underbrush over there. What you just saw before is that they're doing the forestry department is doing some major cleaning up over here. They're getting rid of some of the trees. They're thinning out the forest. I mean, that is, again, it's probably very typical Swiss, but that is a good side of Switzerland, is that they're going over their whatever we could call forest here, but I mean at least their woods, and they clean them up as much as they can in the sense of keeping it as a healthy forest or wood. Yeah, it's part of, I guess, that Swiss concept of almost, I would say, gardening. You can see that farmers here are almost the gardeners of Switzerland, keeping that nice Switzerland that everybody thinks of. So as you can see here, they're cutting around. Over there you can see that's the industrial zone. That's not where I work over there, but it's not very far from here. And yeah, so let's keep on. So I don't know what it's like because it's quite sunny. It's very sunny. It's extremely warm for, I guess, this time of the year, because we're still just about mid-March. So let's chat a little bit. Things have been going on at work, getting some collaborations ready. Hopefully one day I'll be able to talk about them, because there's some really cool stuff if they work out. And right now I can see picnickers over there, people having a good, I was going to say a good lunch break over here. That's the advantage of the woods, isn't it? Okay, and of course they're looking and they're saying, you know what, there's a guy over there who's walking with his camera and he's talking. Yeah, I was going to talk about something a little bit different today. I was reading an article in some scientific magazine the other day, and part of it was related to, well, actually, I think it was maybe Psychology Today even. It was about the tongue, and strangely enough, it was going on about seeing with the tongue. Now, I know that seems pretty strange, doesn't it? Seeing with your tongue. But the fact is that when you actually think about it, you don't see with your eyes. I know that seems even more strange, but you see with your brain. And the question of the tongue was that they had blindfolded some people and kept them that way, I guess, for a while, and they had, let me see now, somehow they'd connected the tongue up with certain sensors. And finally, what was happening is that actually, without actually seeing, the right parts, the correct parts of the brain were lighting up, so to say, when they were making the measurements. Which shows that actually, probably in the future, research could go that way, that you could probably circumvent the eyes. I'm just thinking about people maybe who were not born blind, but probably were blind, that blinded or lost their sight, and you wonder if they could get some type of partial restoration. That's kind of interesting. But it also brought me up to thinking about, how much goes on with the tongue, basically. I mean, we all know all the harm that one can do with the tongue, but it's funny to think now that there's one more pleasurable aspect that come out of the tongue. And yes, you can get your mind into the gutter if you want, because all the type of pleasure that can come with the tongue is a valid part of your senses. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, so a little bit of, what do you say, non-useful trivia, but anyway, came out of different readings. Yeah, what else? Well, it was kind of interesting also the other day when I visited son of DC's and his fiancee's new little love nest, should I call it, their little apartment. Under where her parents lived, they had a little apartment in the basement, which was not being rented out, and so they're settling in there, and it was kind of nice. I took some video, which is not meant for YouTube, but it was meant for family usage, so sorry about that. Can you hear that? I don't know if that's birds. I'm trying to see. There's noise. Since I'm in this forest, there's noise in the underbrush. I don't know if it's the birds or what it is. I mean, it is known in this little forest that there are fawns sometimes, but I haven't seen any yet. I have seen some at one time or another. Yeah, so it's nice. Let me show you again. Here you are. So we're just walking around, but as you can see, there's a real road here, but it's used by the forestry department. Over there, far off, that is not for Hansel and Gretel, but as far as I know, there are some buildings, I don't know about that one anymore, some of the buildings here are used by the forestry department and others are used by the military, where they stash things, who knows what. And yeah, we used to live not very far from here when the children were small. Yeah, let's see. We lived in this part of the town from 1993 to 1998, and had a lot of walks around here, you can imagine. Also cycling a bit on these little roads when the kids were young, because I mean the eldest son at that period was less, I mean he was like between 5 and 10 years old, and the younger one, well, you know, a couple of years less. So it was a nice place to come here with the bicycles and feel safe with them. Yeah. So, anything else? I'm certain there was other things that I wanted to talk about, but of course, you know, once you've got that, pulled out that camera, you do forget them. What I did want to chat about is that probably on the weekend as well, if the weather looks up, maybe I will have something to do with my trees. Over there I got to show you something. It's a bunch of ladies who are coming, and if you notice the blue smocks that they're wearing, that is standard for cleaning personnel over here. So I was talking about maybe I'll work on my trees, so if things all go well, I might even have my annual tree vlog over the weekend. Yeah, anyway, again, all that information that you really needed to know, wasn't it? Yeah, so I'm just walking and having fun, spending some time with you. I think that's most of the thing. I mean, I was looking the other day, I mentioned him a lot in my vids probably because I like his vids a lot. It was Beckwig when they went down to South Tube last year and had stopped at Dwayne and Julie's, and he was going on like, wow, this is where you vlog, and there was the Harry Potter place, and where he does his normal vlogs, and he was saying he had this sense that it was like really a lot bigger than it actually was. And I'm going to turn around, by the way. And the fact is that what was interesting came out of that is that how much that we can bring into these vlogs, and it also shows that you don't need much. You don't need much space. You don't need loads of props. If you have them, are fun. I mean, like when we make our spoofs and everything, it's nice to have props. But the whole fact and the fun of YouTube is the people. That's what's behind it all. The people, and of course, yes, what can be said, and so on. Yeah, and I guess that's about it. I'm not going to say much more today. I'll bring some other things another time. Probably talk more about different subjects, maybe some of the books that I'm reading. But for today, this is more than long enough. And so, having said that, DC will sign off. Take care. Love you guys. Bye-bye.